Hi, I'm back. I'm so sorry about that. My phone cut off because somebody rang me. Right, okay, so I started to film again. I didn't realise that it wasn't actually filming, and I got this far. I actually added the pockets, but fortunately I haven't added the pockets to the other layers, so I'm going to do one of the other layers and show you how to do it. It's exactly the same principle as this. Okay, so let's put this one out of the way, and then we'll go back to the lid for this one, because it's the same principle as for all of the others. Right, okay, so this now is the second layer box, the one that fits inside that one that we've just done. There we go, that's this side here. So I have it in exactly the same place that we had it, you know, when I was doing that part. Right, okay, let's see if we can whiz through this. So the principle of this is exactly the same as that one, and it will be the same for the one inside this. So my glue is here. Right, okay, so you're going to take your pockets and you're going to glue the back of the pockets all over the back edge. You don't glue the bottom or the two sides. Okay, now when you come to stick them down, what you need to do is you raise up one of the panels, again perpendicular, and you put this on the base over to the left as far as you can possibly get it without it going over that side edge. Okay, so you line it up as carefully as you can, but don't let it go over the side edge, and leave this gap here that you can see here. Now once it's started to stick down, use your bone folder to press it down all the way around. Turn it around and do the next one. So again, we're going to glue it up. I'm not going to glue inside as I just did. Right, we're going to make sure it's got plenty of glue on it because it really needs to stick well. Stand this side upright, stand this on the base, and push it as far over to the left as it will go without going over that side line. That's the most important bit. So if your pockets are not quite square, you know, maybe they're slightly out of true, don't worry, you can always adjust it on this side, but as long as it doesn't go over this side, because that will stop the wall from, you know, all the walls from closing up. Let's get this one pressed down. Like I say, all of these are exactly the same, doesn't matter what size the pocket is. So the third one. There we go. Stand the wall up. Stand this up on the floor. Push it over to the left. Now this one here is one that is slightly out of true. I can fiddle about with it a little bit and make it, force it to fit whether it wants to or not, because it's only slightly out. And when I can get it lying down, that's when I can really fiddle with it. That won't matter at all. But as long as it doesn't come over this edge here. There we go. And the last one. going to stand that up, get that in as neatly as possible. As you can see, it takes a matter of seconds really to do this. Now I don't think that I captured finishing the lid of this one because it wasn't filming. But basically what I did was, with the same as I did with the first two sides, I then fitted it. Let me put this out of the way to dry while I'm talking about this. I then fitted it over the base of the box like that, and then I stuck the other two sides down while it was on here. So I held it together, I stuck the two sides whilst it was on there, because that's the size it needs to be. Okay, and that's your best mould really. So it's pretty simple. I'm sorry I kind of missed the last part of it. Right, so let's put this box together, because as you can see, where we have the gaps at the side, this is why we have to be quite accurate with this, that's exactly the space that's required by the other one. So they all interlock like that. And this one, sorry, I'm having to use parts of my anatomy to hold the box together. I hope you didn't see that. Oh dear, what crafters have to do. And you push it all up together, it stays there a lot better once you've got the other boxes. There you go, so that's your first box. Okay, right, this is the box. This is the little box that fits inside it that we've just stuck. So put all that together like that, all locks in together, and it has its lid. Helps if you've got large hands. Or a willing helper, I suppose. There you go. That's the box that goes inside that first one. Now for this little box, this is your tag box, exactly the same thing. We haven't got as far as the box in the centre yet. So I'm just going to stick these down. Exactly the same principle. Just take a few moments to do this. Let me just check this is actually filming. Yes, it is. Right, so stand your side up. Pop your little bit in there. Oops, that one skidded a bit. There we go. One. Right, now they should stand up correctly. There we go. They need a little bit of encouragement sometimes, but once they've been in the box box shape for a little while, they get used to where they're supposed to be. And that's the smallest box, the tag box. That's going to fit inside, so we put that with the other ones. Now we need to make the tiny little gift box. Hold on, put the lid in there. Put some light on the subject. Now you only need 2 pieces and some designer paper for this. Now I haven't folded this up because we need to make some more score lines. So the first score lines you've made, this is a 6x6 piece of paper, and you've scored in it 2 inches on each of the sides. Now, before we go any further, we also need, let's turn this over, I use my cutter as a scoreboard. Find it easier and less fiddly to get more and more pieces. And I also use a small crochet hook as a stylus. Right, okay, so these are at 2 inches. Now we want to also score at another 1/2 inch. So I'm going to line this up. So 2, 2, 2. Here we're going to score at 1/2 inch, but only down as far as this score line, and then from this score line down to here at 1/2 inch. Okay, so let's do that first of all. Let's line that up. So I'm going to score here, but only as far down as that score line, and then I'm going to score here only as far as that score line. Basically, you don't score this one, and then you turn it round completely 180 degrees. So now you're working on the opposite sides. You do exactly the same thing. So 1/2 inch down to the first score line, and 1/2 inch on this one, nothing on that one. Right, that's the last of that. And your piece should now look like this, which I hope you can see. Okay, so let's go about putting your pieces of designer paper on. You should have 4 pieces of designer paper. There we go, like that. And we're going to put them on here, here, here. We don't need one on the base because this is the base that gets stuck down. Right, don't forget, if it's directional, make sure you've got your eye on that you don't have it upside down. Right, so that's 1. Turn it around. And 4. There we go. Right, now then, the main score lines we're now going to fold and burnish. So that's not these 2 little short ones, but the main ones. See what I mean about this cardstock? You can absolutely batter it. Not many cardstocks you can do that to. fold that in so that it fits exactly. And around the other side as well. Make sure that your score lines all line up and your edges line up. Take time to do it, it's worth it. And that one. Across here. Okay, now that gives us this shape and it's all cut. Now what we're going to do now is open it out and we're going to cut up the inside edge. So we're going to cut off this score line here up as far as and including that score line, and we're going to cut inside that score line there and cut it off completely as far as that corner. So we're going to take that off. So we have no score line here and no score line here. And we're going to do that on each of the 4 corners. So cut inside it here, cutting it off, and cut it off here. Only just nick it, you know, you don't take a huge piece off of it, just the score line, that's all. Otherwise it won't fit together. There we go. Take that right into the corner, take that right into the corner, and that one, and that one, and then very small amount mite to the edges, mite to the corners, the inside corners, not the top corners, just these inside ones. There we go. And now basically it's just a case of folding it up and sticking it together using those as the tabs. So much as we did the lid, we're just going to fold the tab in, glue it up or tape it if you want to. I think I said use the red line tape if you're going to use tape, because it's sturdier. Line these up as best as you can, try to get them exact, because don't forget you've only got 1 score line to worry about, which gives a really neat edge. Do 2 at the same time. Just make sure you manipulate it a bit to get the best sort of box you can out of it. I'm going to put a couple of those clips on. 1 and 2, and the same on this edge. Fold this up, get the best corner you can. There we go. Hold that together. Clip, and this one. Now, in this little box, it's designed to hold your stamps. designed to hold the person's stamps. But when I'm giving it as a gift, I usually fill it with chocolates first, and then when they've eaten their chocolates, then they can put their stamps in it. However, I have to admit, it does take me a few goes to be able to keep the chocolates in there. Right, to keep eating them. Right, okay. Right, take no notes of me. Okay, now the lid we're going to do in exactly the same way as we did before, but this doesn't need covering. It's too small, and by the time you've put an embellishment on there and you've cut tiny little slivers of paper, I mean, you can if you want to. Don't let me put you off, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it white. But it's done exactly the same as the other lid. So we do 2 corners first, then we turn the box upside down, and we fit this to this way up. That way we know it's going to fit. So we're going to stick these 2 flaps here and here. We're going to put this over the top of the box and use the box as a mould. Oops. Tuck these inside, she says, doing it a bit ridiculously, and use the box as the mould for the lid till it sets up. Okay, so I'm just going to put that aside now for a moment. I'm going to tell you about what's actually in the box, so I'll get the other one over that was already made while that's just drying. So I want to show you this box again. And while I'm here, I actually want to stick this butterfly down because it doesn't want to stick for some reason. It's come off about 3 or 4 times. Right, let's put some more glue on him. Funnily enough, the hot glue gun glue doesn't set as well as this ordinary Cosmic Shimmer does. So I'm just going to pop him on there. Press him down a moment or 2. Press her down a moment or 2. Right, and then I'm going to open this box up and show you. So you can decorate it exactly as you like. I mean, round the outside of this first lid, I've put a band of ribbon. And you see what I mean about the 1/4 inch. You don't even notice it, actually. And then it's allowed me to bring the flowers off the top and down the side and down the side, and just put a little note on it just for you, and some little pearls. The only thing, you can decorate the outside of the box, but you can't decorate the insides because they won't fit. So as we take this off, you see once it's got the cards in it, it holds there. So we open this up, and in these pockets, each pocket takes, and I'm using 5 by 5 inch cards here, takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hope you can see this, 6 cards and 6 envelopes in each pocket. All you have to do then is to decorate your cards, and you just need to make them quite single layer decorated, you know, or just with patterned paper on them or something like that. If you want to make them highly decorated, I would put 5 cards in a pocket, or maybe 4, just depends. You can also make these cards taller, but they can't go above the height of this. Okay, so that layer takes 5 of those cards. Now, do you see what I mean? You can't decorate the outside of this box because when you put this up, that comes up snugly. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. But that comes up snugly and it all interlocks, so you can't, there's no room to put embellishments either here or here. I mean, you could stick supposing you had some flat flower shapes or something that you wanted to stick on, you could stick that on, or some words, or you could stamp on it, or whatever you want to do. You just can't put any embellishments like this on it because it just won't fit. That's confined to the lids. So when you take the next layer off, it all stays interlocked, and you put that down, and this holds 6 4x4, what I call notelet cards, but they're quite acceptable as greetings cards. I know a lot of people send 4x4s, so yeah, there's 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the envelopes for them there, and they fit in there quite nicely. Okay, like I say, you can make them slightly bigger, 4x5 maybe, but no bigger than that because they won't fit in there. And then you take this layer off, this lid off, and inside here are the pockets for the little tags. And I've cut these, I hand cut all of these at, let me find my ruler. I hand cut all of these at 3.5 by 2.25, and then I just snipped off the corners and punched a hole. I'm going to put ribbons in here and decorate the tags. Excuse me. I've put 24 in here, but I think, as I showed you in the first video, all of this 24 will fit in one pocket if you want them to. So you could actually make 24, 48, you could make 90 tags. 90 presents. Yeah, so anyway, and again, you can't make them taller than the top of the box. And then inside here, this little box that we've just made, there were some chocolates stuffed in there. There aren't anymore. There will be when this goes out to its new owner. Okay, so that's how it all goes together, all fits together tightly. Push all these up, and the more you open it and close it a few times, the better, you know, it will settle into where it's supposed to be, and the better it will be. So all you have to do now, once we've put it together, is have fun embellishing it, embellishing the tops and the very outside if you want to. Right, where's the lid? Let's see if that other one has set up yet, and then we can get going with the construction. Because we make from the outside in, but we construct it from the inside out. Right, yeah. This is all set up now, so that's fine. Okie dokie, there's that. There's the lid. There we go. So what we need to do first of all is we take the smallest box, we get the second size box, and trying to keep all the sides upright as possible. And you could do that by putting a rubber band round it, but I'm just going to hold it. So you keep it as far upright as you can. You're going to apply plenty of glue or score tape, if you want to the bottom of this. Keep it all upright, and you're going to carefully place this in the middle. Square it up. I'm just going to have a quick look at it, make sure that it has enough clearance, which it does. So can you see how that just fits in there like that? Now once it's got tags in there, not so important on this level, but on the next levels, that pushes the pockets out a bit and makes them a little bit tighter. So that's why we construct it this way. So let's just find my bone folder. Now I've got it lined up. Give that a really good press down. Push this up. Make sure it all locks together, which it does. Oh, I'll put the other lid on in a moment. Let me put the lid on, hold on. Pop the lid on. Put this lid on. And then we're going to do the same with this. So you get the next box. That's this one. We're going to apply plenty of glue or score tape to the bottom. Now if you wanted to make a smaller version of this, just make this size and this small box. Forget the 6.5 inch one, do the 5 inch one. Start with that as your biggest one. Right, hold all the sides up. Let's just pop that down a moment. Hold all the sides up. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to kind of rush it a bit. And then pop your box, drop your box down in the middle very carefully. If you just lay it there carefully, first of all, and then push all your sides up, you'll know that it clears it. Okay, square it up the best you can, press it down. And then what you would do is take all the insides out and bone folder it again, but I'm not going to do that just for the moment because it will take up too much time. Then put your box together. There we go. As I say, the more times you open and close this, the better the fit will be, because it will start slotting into its proper place. Come on, lid. There we go. That's that one. And then this is the outer one, the one that we've been working on. I'll drop that down. I'm going to apply a lot of glue all around the outside. Some in the middle. And on this one, the easiest thing to do is to hold up 2 sections, try and get them upright, pop your box in, then fold up the other 2 and check that it all fits, which it does. There you go. Push it down. That all fits tightly together. Tightly, tightly, tightly together. And then we're going to put the lid on it. Oops. Now all that remains to be done is to do your top embellishments, put some ribbon around here if you want to, and add all of your cards and everything. So let me just take it apart and show you, make sure that it does work. So you take off that lid that opens for that box, take off that lid, it opens to reveal that box, take off that lid, it opens to reveal that box, and when you take off that lid it reveals your non-existent chocolates because you've eaten them. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please, you know, I'd be really pleased if you give me a thumbs up and you subscribe, because I'm really looking to try and build my base so that YouTube recognise me and let me post my videos. Yeah, thank you very much for watching and take care. Hold on, let me put the lid on. Go on, lid. Thank you.